All right, so these tweets caught my eye, and I think it's time for me to do a video on this very topic here. Let me show you the tweets, and then I'll give you a little bit of a backstory on this, and we'll get right into it. Okay, so before we get into the topic of tonight's video here, I'd like to give you a backstory on these tweets so you know where they're coming from. See, Captain Planet, the author of these tweets, decided to get into a conversation that was a little bit above his head, right? He used a typical gun sense talking point that, all of Chicago's gun violence problems are the fault of Indiana. Yeah. It was explained to in the conversation by several people, including myself, that you can't go buy one of these as an Illinois resident in Indiana. It's just not legal, right? You can't, and he was also explained that you can't sell one of these to somebody who's an Illinois resident if you're an Indiana resident. That's illegal. Doesn't matter if it's through an FFL. It doesn't matter if it's a private transfer. It's already 100% illegal, dude. And I know you like to bring up the term gun show loophole, even though it's really a buzz word. What you're really talking about is private sales, which, again, transfer from an Illinois resident to an Indiana resident, vice versa. Illegal on both parties' parts. One resident for accepting the pistol, the other resident for selling the pistol. Period. There's no gun show loophole that protects that. Sorry. It's just like straw purchases, purchasing for somebody you know is legally prohibited to own a gun. Already a felony, dude. And you were explaining these things. Maybe not the straw purchasing part, but you were definitely explaining the whole interstate commerce part of it anyway. And eventually it got to those tweets right there. It's kind of funny, though, because I noticed certain circles or certain movements that tend to do that. They'll go out and they'll say something either provocative, blatantly untrue, usually attacking somebody else's either hobby or their way of life, maybe their choice for personal protection, and then when other people who have those interests respond, they scream harassment, bullying, and stuff like that. Sorry, guys, if you go out and say something, you're going to get a response. It's not harassment. It's not bullying. It's responding to you. Something outside of, the whole Second Amendment, gun rights, gun control debate, would be a quick thing off the top of my head, Anita Sarkeesian and gamers. Here you have a person who pretty much blatantly went out and was dishonest about somebody's hobby, a group of people's hobby, and was shocked when they responded to her. And by the way, when you go out and you blatantly attack somebody else's hobby, just bear in mind that they probably know more about the hobby and the laws surrounding that hobby than you do. It's kind of a good thing to know while practicing that hobby, So generally the people that practice the hobby are going to know the laws surrounding it a lot better than the people who don't practice the hobby and oppose the hobby, It's the same way with concealed carry. I got to say, concealed carriers are probably going to know a little bit more about the gun laws and the concealed carry laws than some member of Moms Demand Action. you know. And when they respond to you, it's not harassment. When they pretty much destroy your argument, the debate, it's not bullying, dude. It's just you losing, you know. But hey, what can I say? Shit happens when you cry bully.